Welcome 2022 NXL World Cup, the Champions Cup. Matty Marshall here, Rich Telfer jumping into point number one. It's Baltimore Revo taking on NRG in this set, and Legion and the Lucky 15s. And right now, as looks like a pretty even break so far here, Rich.
Yeah, similar field positions for both teams. The wing on this side. Matty, what are we going to call the wing on this snake side? It's a really, really important bunker on this field. We should probably name it up.
The lay-down wedge. Yeah, 40-yard
just snake wedge or whatever.
Yeah,
okay,
wedge.
Revo loses their first attacker on the Drio side, so 4-on-5 advantage here for NRG. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to World Cup.
Good morning. We survived the hurricane. Hurricane Nicole is gone and passed, and got to see 3 beautiful days of paintball. There's the wide shot. You can see that wall in the center, and it does look like Baltimore Revo taking that spot. Revo on the left-hand side of your screen, and they're on that red side, and NRG Elite on the blue side. And you can see the battle going down here in the center. It looks like NRG Elite going to be losing a body from that D side. I believe that's the first body to drop. Dennis is still in a really good spot, though, at that crucial wedge like Rich was talking about. And but yeah, just a little bit better field position currently here for Revo as they have that body at the 50-yard line here on your screen.
Yeah, and what Revo's doing better here, I feel, Matty, they've got the guy in the wedge and then the guy in the wing, and they're both kind of playing a little more proactive. The NRG guys are crossed up in that tower and that wedge, so they're only watching those tiny gaps. So basically, they're only watching the very, very far 50 gap. If you play those really, really defensively, it's really easy to kind of for people to figure out what you're doing and get outside. You got to be proactive up there in the wall and the wedge. Behind
the players up here on your screen for Revo, again, they're on the red side of the field. Benny Carroll does want to get out here. He keeps kind of probing and peeking. He's head checking. He's coming out. He looks like he's going to try to get out wide now. There he is on your screen. He's going to try to get out. He's going to just use his gun as a walking bunker and get all the way out.
Kind of just edged himself out there, right? And you're going to see a lot of that, Matty. It's a one-on-one ball out here a lot of times on the snake side. Yeah,
the snake side, you are going to be on a bit of an island. I mean, anytime you see a ladder snake that runs the entire length of the field, pretty much, you think, okay, well, the snake side could be dominant. This is not a dominant snake side field for the most part. It's D side middle. A lot of points will be stolen from the snake side. Revo losing a body, though, from
key death there. Really bad death.
Yeah, really bad, tough death. That back corner bunker, losing a gunfight.
Yeah, Matty, this field, if you want to know how to play this snake side on this field, this is perfect for an island drill, where you do 2 on the Drio side, 1 on the snake side, and you learn how to really play island ball out here on the snake side, because if you die, you really possibly lose that point for your team. But if you can survive, time it well, get out to the snake, and not have anybody in front of you, you can easily win the point for your team from that position.
For sure. Revo now doubling up that crucial wedge. I love it how we've already seen the wedge double up here. Yeah. And that's just going to be a huge launching pad for attacks all weekend long.
I love the audios coming in where we can actually hear the players talking on the field, the guns. We've got cameras right behind both boxes too, so I'm hoping we get some box talk this weekend as well.
So Benny Carroll has made his way into the snake. O'Mara bounces over and gets into that can. He was doubled up in the wedge for a moment. I believe Velez. They just told me I'd go to work, Benny.
Yeah, it's a 3-on-3, Matty, or a 3-on-4? There's some of the spots out here blocked out from us.
Well, there's no one in the back corner anymore, I believe.
No,
that's where Henry just got shot out. O'Mara has made his way over to that side.
That forces NRG to open up the gap in the middle. There's a big gap in the center of the field when the tower and when the wing open up like that and shoot outside of the tape, because the guy in the little laydown behind him cannot protect that gap.
Yeah, Rob Velez in there. He's been at that wedge pretty much the whole game. Good talking back and forth here between O'Mara, Velez, and Benny Carroll. And then they do pinch out another body. Damage control moment right now for NRG.
Yeah, 3-on-2 advantage here for Revo as Benny Carroll gets to the 50 snake, wraps around. NRG releases, goes to the wall.
Yeah, Jason Dennis trying to make something happen. I mean, he's looking at 3 bodies, though, right in front of him. It's going to be very difficult for him.
Yeah, he's got to sneak a ball on somebody and then trade with somebody.
But I don't think they know he's there, so he might be able to get the drop if he keeps his gun snake side here towards Benny Carroll. Benny Carroll's going to climb or crawl past the 50-yard line. He does not know that Jason Dennis has made that move, or Dennis would already be dead.
He's got to check that off a little
bit. But he gets one. He did check it off. Nice, just did his work in there. Did he trade out with that third body?
A little 3-piece for Benny.
Benny Carroll with a little 3-pack to basically clean this point up.
Nice job, Benny.
Maybe 1 body left alive. I think that might be it, actually. Yeah, that is it.
That was it, yeah.
Nice job.
That's almost exactly how Matt would have done it, Benny. Good job. Almost exactly. I mean, obviously, he would have done it a little quicker with a little more style, but good on you.
Not anymore, brother. Ship sailed. Maybe, 99. Now, Benny Carroll looking crisp in there. And he worked hard for that point, bitch. I mean, he had to get out from that box, used his gun as a walking bunker, timed it right, and bided his time to wait for that right moment, and just made it all the way out wide, worked his way in the snake, and then cleaned it up with that 3-pack.
And he was able to do that a little easier, Matty, because that wedge was looking inside and playing so zoned up that he only had to put it in his mirror, and he was able to edge himself out there. So that's why I said those guys in the middle have to play a little more reactive, because you've got to help your outside guys that are containing the 2-4 gaps. Because if you don't help those guys, they're going to get outside on you. But Benny, like you said, played it perfectly. Every move was slow, every move was methodical, and at the end he gets the 3 kills. That's huge.
Interesting story coming up. It's Legion taking on Lucky 15. So Red Legion going to be on the red side, and Lucky 15s are one of the most aggressive teams on earth.
I love the double tower, right?
Yeah, they double up the tower. That's very Lucky 15s-esque here. Taking the tower with 2 bodies on the break. Nick Ripple guesting with them. He's from breakout spot and outstanding, one of the best players in Europe. And looks like he's getting a start, and he's one of the 2 up in that center of the field.
Red Legion on the left with their kind of standard breakout, which is the juice box back center, the baby, center cannon, small Dorito.
I think maybe potential inadvertent horn. Russians are trapped in this center of the field, and we get another horn. It looked like Legion was a little confused, and now
dropping 2 bodies.
Yeah, 2 bodies have come off as Karslev's taking the walk, so it's not looking good here for Legion. I think Smotrop was that first one. Karslev the second.
I think what you're saying is we're having scoreboard issues, and it's throwing off some of the Red Legion players.
Yeah, Lucky 15s seem to have no problem at all. They're completely
Yeah, they don't care. They're just rolling those guns.
So the refs tell them to stop, and none of the refs even move. So this point's looking really good. Good start here for the Lucky 15s. So the Lucky 15s coming over from Europe here in this Champions Cup.
Welcome here, boys.
And I got to see them play in England. They were very impressive. They're a bunch of they're full of piss and vinegar, man. A young, aggressive team that's just cocky, and they know that they're talented at this game, and they want to make their names out here in pro paintball. And this is their opportunity. They were asking for it, they got it, and they're looking really good here in point number 1 against the legends, Red Legion.
Unfortunately, Malloy is still in, and Malloy is able to fill out to the snake corner, kind of a control position out there. First Lucky player is eliminated, so it goes from a 5-on-3 with 3 Red Legion players in the pocket to now a 3-on-4 with Britnikov outside and playing multiple spots like Britnikov does, back and forth, back and forth. Oh, and they catch him going out. Red Legion down to just 2 players left, Matty. Oh, but Lucky 15 loses another player.
They lose both those in the center. That's,
Sergey.
Oh, and then they just throw another one away as Levy gets shot out.
1-on-1
too. I think Clint Moore, the veteran here, trying to save it. And I think Clint Moore, the veteran, out here with these aggressive kids, and he's their captain, he's their leader, and going to be the most composed of the players out there on the field. And sure enough, earning his keep yet again as he saves this point. It was looking really good for the Lucky 15s.
That's a pretty chaotic point for both teams.
Yeah, but then this is what, if you are a fan of the Lucky 15s and their coaching staff, I am too. I would be in the pits right now, giving them a little bit of an earful of some harsh words, because you cannot be dying in those situations and throw those bodies away like they just threw those bodies away, and have Clint saving it essentially 1-on-1.
And you have 5 bodies containing 3 bodies in the pocket. Those 3 bodies never get outside, especially with those 2 guys in the tower. If they just sit there, cross up the top, know that they've got that first 2 kills, that game's over.
We're in the pits right now with the young Lucky 15s, are leading by 1 right now, courtesy of Clint Moore. There's their coach, Jim McGowan. Jim's an incredibly smart guy, engineer in real life, and I love what he's been doing with this squad. Again, lots of young and cocky players that guy has to deal with, man. And these, I promise you, if these guys keep this team together, it's going to be a scary squad, man. But are they ready yet is the question. And
it's pretty deep over here. The water's pretty deep over here.
Yeah,
buddy.
it's the deepest water in the world of paintball. So jumping back into this point here, NRG Elite down by 1 here to Baltimore Revo, 10 minutes still on the clock, and a good old-fashioned 5-on-5 break. Better field position though for Revo.
Yeah, but both teams took big bites. Revo's up, NRG's up in the wall. NRG's outside of this baby Dorito. 2 in the wall now, Maddie. Oh, we have our first exchange there at the wall.
Well, we took all of 3 points before we finally saw it, but yeah.
Looks like Greg gets the spin there for Revo.
Yeah, Greg Rostek getting bunkered out by, I believe, Bowen.
Looks like the Bowen build.
Yes, the Bowens are thick. And then Revo's just going to take that wall, though, again. So.
And, Matt, honestly, this field is going to be won. Obviously, it's first match, and I could be completely wrong. I am most of the time. But this field, I believe, is going to be won in the middle, and it's going to be won by the second and the third guy that go through, not by the first guy.
Yeah, body coming off here. Another body. So just 3 players left alive. Right now, NRG Elite slipping and falling, trying to get to the tower. That's going to cost Buffton his body, so that's another body coming off. Just 2. Desperation run outside wide.
Yeah, so What I think is going to happen here, especially in these early matches, Matty, is you're going to have matchups with teams that are similarly matched skill-wise, but one team has played the field correctly over the last 2 weekends, and a lot of teams are playing the field incorrectly. And the teams that are playing it well and have figured it out are going to have a huge advantage against the teams that just haven't figured it out yet because either they practiced against the wrong team or they had bad paint or they had a bad field or whatever happened, you know? Here we go again, Benny Carroll finishing strong here for Revo in a 2-on-1 with Benny Carroll, Omar against the one NRG player who releases on the Drio side and gets torched.
I'll tell you what, I really like what we're seeing. It's really early. And
so they're your dark horse, is that what you're saying?
Revo could be a legit, actual, real dark horse to win the World Cup. I mean, they have never won a big tournament before, and they've been dealing with a lot of roster issues the past couple seasons, but they've always been competitive. That core of that team has been outstanding. I mean, basically kind of built around, you have Stephen Omar, who's been, I feel, one of the elite players in paintball for years. Everyone keeps trying to steal Omar from that squad. He doesn't want to leave, and then
terrible human being, but amazing paintball player.
They're going to be getting some help too. As Tom Ford, I saw Tom Ford down there, so he's come in as
welcome back, Tom.
Yeah, welcome back, Tom. And so they're planning big things for Revo. Would not surprise me if they went after some players in the offseason. We'll see who that's going to be. Offseason is probably going to be crazy. And see now if Legion actually has an answer for Lucky 15s, as they got a real bad start in that last one. And they're going to lose Karslev real quick. So off the break shots are dialed right now for the Lucky 15s.
Yeah, Sergey was not able to make most of the practices for Red Legion, so that I was really interested. He was kind of the guy I wanted to watch in the middle the most, so I was a little disappointed. Thank you, Sergey, in not making it. But I was hoping he'd play a little more proactive, kind of get up to that wall, do some damage with that height of his. We'll see.
Got Mason up at the center right now for the Lucky 15s.
5-on-4 advantage here for the Lucky 15s, up by 1 point.
Yeah, Mason looking towards that D side, tall enough to be able to play that bunker the way it's supposed to be played. It's tough in that center, man. You see that wall, you really have to be at least 6 foot tall and hopefully a little bit over to play.
6'3" is ideal.
6'2", 6'3" is good. I'm not quite that tall, but I can play that. I mean, you have to be.
I mean,
you have to be over. Yeah, shrinking. You have to be over 6 foot tall to play it well. Mason's that size, so it does not surprise me that he's the guy that we'll probably going to see a lot up at that wall. So plays on the D side. The Brits call the D side the bag side.
Yeah,
because they look like teabags.
Teabag side, mate. Yeah, we call anyone over 6 feet tall adult size in paintball.
Oh, but Mason getting clipped out of there. Tough death for him as Sergey pushing the issue here. Here comes the Red Legion on the run through in the center of the field. Is that Kirill Peridny?
I think it's Kirill.
Yeah, Kirill Peridny, man. Kirill's been so elite over the years, and he's going to trade 2 for 1. Are we going to see a penalty, though? No penalty assessed. Going to be a clean run here for Kirill Peridny.
Lucky
the heart and soul.
Players left alive, Matt.
Heart and soul of that team's falling apart right now for Lucky 15s. So there's another body, Clint Moore, who saved that last point with the desperation run out wide. He makes it in there alive.
Great feels for that corner. But Red Legion have the Dorito 50 and the Snake, so it's just a 2-on-4, I think, here, Matty, with both corners for Luckies.
Well, now Clint Moore taking the walk, so it's just back corner bunker on the D side, and he's about to get stitched up as here comes Sergey. So nice go, and he's going to bunker out that last body. So, yeah, tied up 1-1. It was looking decent for Lucky 15s in the beginning, but they lose Mason, and then they allow Kirill Peridny to run through. 2 bodies come off from that run through. I couldn't see if Kirill got both those kills.
I think he shot the first guy and then went and got the second guy. And I think if I was going to say anything to Lucky 15s, is you guys are making a lot of penetration up the middle on the break, but you're just playing defensively up there. You need to go through to the other side of the field. You need to be more proactive. Look for some gunfights up there.
In the pits right now here with the Lucky 15s again, their coach Jim McGowan, leader of that squad. I love how they all are rocking the mustaches. I saw them the first day before the hurricane came in, and I said, you guys look like a bunch of RAF fighter pilots from World War II, and the clean mustaches they got, except for Coffee. Young Coffee can't grow a mustache, so he actually bought a bunch of like costume mustaches.
I heard, yeah. Stack a pack of mustaches.
Yeah.
Revo up by 2 here. NRG's got to do something different. Like to see them change up their breakout a little bit, their game plans.
Right here.
2-point lead right now for Revo. They're going to go heavy, guns up.
And all they have to do here is contain, right, Matty? If they can sit in the pocket and contain and force NRG now outside, they get a kill on the top side, so 4-on-5 advantage already for Revo. Revo's putting themselves in a good position to win this first match, Matt. And these matches with only 3 matches, you want to talk about that, Matt? You want to talk about that, please?
Yeah, so with the Hurricane, we had initially the way the Champions Cup was going to go down, as Revo making a move up the center of the field with Velez, was that we had 4 brackets, 5 teams, and 2 teams are going to move on. Now we had to reseed that because there's only, instead of having 4 prelim games, the 20 teams now have 3 prelim games because we had to go from 4 days to 3. So a little bit of a different scenario and a little bit of a different look as teams were getting prepared to play a set of teams, and then we had to redraw just in order to get the tournament in after the Hurricane. So a little bit of a different look.
Yeah, it makes those every point that much more crucial, right? Like you have to win the first point of your match, your first match. You got to win your first match. You got to beat your top seed. I mean, things that usually you can get away with. Down by 2 now, Maddie. 5-on-3 advantage for Revo. They have all the positions. They're containing energy in the pocket. And again, I don't know that energy knows how to play this field correctly.
Yeah, Revo is looking good. I mean, just you can tell their body language. They feel very comfortable. Their moves are crisp. They're not puzzled as to where they should be placing their guns, shooting zones, and making moves based on the situation. NRG Elite right now is kind of scrambling a little bit, right?
Yeah, well, they're in a tough situation. They're down by 2 points. He just got shot in the wing right there in the ribs. You see that? Right behind his pack. Where
Jason Dennis?
Yeah. But they're down by 2 points, and they're down by 2 bodies in that, so it's like tough situation.
Yeah, totally. And then now they're down by 3 with some time left, a little less than 7 minutes. But you notice that, so Revo goes heavy guns trying to shoot the wide bodies.
Contain.
And NRG was able to send those 2 bodies up. They lose the wide body over there, so yeah, it's kind of tough.
And that's what you're going to see on this field. You're going to see if a team goes up, they're going to go outside in, they're going to play the pocket and just force you to go through those gaps, force you to try to push through the center of the field. They can zone up the center of the field, and they double up those gaps. So the first few points in these matches are going to determine a lot of these games.
Yeah, there's Benny Carroll, who's at least a couple points in, looking pretty good.
And
Revo as the attacker over here on the snake side.
For like 2 seasons now, right? Benny has just been one of those guys that's constantly been contributing to whatever team, whatever roster he's on, playing really well. I mean, he's got that ridiculous thing on his head, but man, he's playing good paintball.
His beard's looking strong too. So
Red Legion.
Lucky 15's doubling up the wall again, but they lose a body trying to get out wide. So
and they allowed Red Legion to run and shoot to the snake corner. Oh, they stay over the top, and then they zone up outside, allowing Sergey to fill from the can in the center to the wing. And Sergey's going to go through and probably get both of these guys. Nope, he gets one, and then Sergey's got to watch that spin. Yeah, he didn't know the second guy was there, Matt.
Yeah, refs.
Lucky it's early on Hurricane morning for that.
Yeah, no penalties. There's a couple bodies coming off for both squads here. It's definitely not looking good right now for the Lucky 15s as Clint Moore is going to get diced up here by Alexander Burtnikov.
Oh, here we go.
Look at this. Battling the snake. Neither one of them know he's there. Who's going to pick him up first? Oh, and then Burtnikov gets absolutely punished.
1-on-1, I think, Matt.
Oh, it's Levy. Levy's going to try to save this one here for the Lucky 15s.
Wow.
It's tied up. There's 9 minutes and 45 seconds. And he's going to get the kill cross field. So way to go, Levy. Nice job.
If it keeps going like this is going to be a fast day because this is some fun paintball.
Yeah, Ethan Levy able to save that point here. So that's 2 points that have been saved in essentially one-on-one situations that dropped very quickly into a one-on-one. And I don't even know if the Red Legion player knew that was a one-on-one as that went down, because he knew that Malloy, his buddy, his teammate, was alive in the snake. Levy did not know that Malloy was right there. Malloy did not know that
which is
Ethan
so
was
rare
that
Malloy didn't know where the bodies were.
That's so true, because he always seems
knows.
he has that sixth sense. You can see here on the replay as this was a relatively brutal point. So you see Derek Sergey comes through and wins that gunfight, totally commits, doesn't know there's 2 up there, but does get that trade. And then here's Malloy and Ethan, and Malloy is up and over the top. And yeah, Rich, you're 100% correct. We've almost never seen Malloy in a situation.
I mean, that's his bread and butter. He's the guy who knows where everybody's at, so he can always make those amazing moves.
And I think that was Karslev who, in the one-on-one, again, I don't think that Karslev knew that he was in a one-on-one. So, tip of the hat and respect there to Ethan Levy, who saved that point, and he was the one that was the more proactive player, read the variables quicker than the legend Malloy, and gets a shot on Karslev as well. 2-pack to finish, and they got themselves a 1-point lead. Let's listen in real quick here.
Послушай меня. Я убил 5. Пошел на 400. Сидит, чувак смотрит змею. Я его ебашу. Вы кричите. Янки, вы кричите. Даллас. Я бегу на их сторону и забираю 3-го. В этот момент еще убивает 2. Я один на змее.
Tell me that Sergey couldn't cut diamonds with his gaze, dude. That's an intense man right there.
I like his, like the louder it gets, the more his eyeballs come out of the socket towards you.
Oh man. So down by 1 here, but decent amount of time, some quicker points in that one. A little bit more of a slower roll here in this game, but it's been all Baltimore Revo. See if Energy Elite can answer. The dreaded 3-point spread is here.
They risked, Energy risked 2, Maddie, to get outside, and both guys made it. They made it to the second Dorito and the Snake Corner. Snake Corner's now eliminated, though, Maddie, so 4-on-5 advantage here for Revo. Although Benny Carroll is getting a check, and it looks like he has been eliminated as well from the Snake Corner, so 4-on-4. Benny lucky he didn't get a penalty there.
It's going to hurt them. It's going to hurt Revo a little bit here. Try to maintain this lead as now they do not have outside contained on this Snake side. And, I mean, they've basically had Benny just be the one body going that way. They have been sending bodies there towards the wedge, so that is shading towards the Snake side.
Yeah,
really
same cut.
I like the game. Like you said, it looks like Revo knows how to play the field, right? They've put the work in and seem to understand the principles of this field. They are in a little bit of a tough spot now, though, as they do not, like we said, don't have outside contain. They don't have that body out wide here. That's going to affect everyone else, and they're kind of trapped in the pocket right now.
Energy's out there looking for gunfights, and Revo's out there shooting gaps, you know what I mean? And it's just a different matchup.
Yeah, and Revo, they're going to say if they could just stay alive for another couple minutes and just kind of, hopefully sucker Energy into wanting to just stay locked in some gunfights and not move up the field, that would be ideal. But they lose sense.
Repositioning for Energy. One goes out to the Dorito. Oh, and gets caught as the second one moves to the wing. So it was a 4-on-3. Now I believe it's a 3-on-3, Matt.
Yeah, tough death there from that D side. In a high body situation, you're down by 3. You cannot be losing that gunfight right there.
And
Jason Dennis, up a body. Jason Dennis had just made a move into the wedge, and was that Abel? I think that was Caleb Abel.
I didn't want to say, but it was. He's got that dark blue beanie.
I mean, Caleb Abel has been a star for Energy Elite. That was just a tough death, though. Everyone's going to have him. You got to shake that off because he's going to need to play well for them.
I'm not mad at him, but I am disappointed.
He's going to need to play well for them to go far in this tournament.
For sure. He's one of those key guys for them where if he does well, they do well. If he doesn't do well, they seem to struggle.
I mean, they're getting some depth. I really like the starting 5 or 6 guys for Energy Elite. I got a chance to talk to Chris Jansen, their coach, and he said, I was like, hey, man, I agree with the guys you've been running. That's the cream of the crop, the roster you've had for the past couple years. So, because Weaver's been getting pretty good. Jason Dennis, those guys have been around for years. The Bowens, and then Caleb Abel has been a big standout.
Omar making a releasing on the Dorito side. Moves up. He's looking to shoot the wedge if the wedge goes forward into the wing. I think that might be Austin there. I think Austin catches him on the look. So Omar did not need to go forward there. He's thinking as an individual instead of a team paintball player. 3-on-3, up by 3 points. You don't throw your body away. You cross it up and you
Omar
run that clock.
Some bonus ball. Sorry, Rich. There's coming off.
That should have been from his own guys. He didn't need to get bonus ball from the other guys. He's the one that his guys should have put it on him. That was a bad move. Oh, here comes the move. Austin goes to the middle, gets Benny. Now it's a 3-on-1. Goes from a 3-on-3 to a 3-on-1 because of one selfish move.
Well, they also got off to a good start. They shot Benny. They win that gunfight against Henry. So at that point, up bodies for Energy. They lose Abel, kind of goes back to even, and then that's the point you were talking about right there.
So you just lock it up. You make them come. You make them a mistake. You make them maybe get a penalty. You don't go down the field and bunker nobody and get lit up and then drop the zone.
So we got the replay here from that last one. So there's the move as comes across and just gets completely blasted.
Yeah, it looks like he almost got him.
This is our view from the D side. So we have cameras on basically surrounding the entire field.
Finally we have cameras D side.
It is.
Thank you, Go Sports.
But it's one of those situations where just keep in mind there is a red side and a blue side of the field. So when we do switch to that D side cam, for the uninitiated, that's kind of the 180 rule in sports.
When he says uninitiated, he means Rich Telford. There's Red Legion. About to break out. Still down by 1. They take that corner again. Wow, people are making that corner. Oh, lucky 15 player. Coffee just got shot on the inside in that snake insert button. He does not get off the field. He's going to get a penalty.
He's hanging in there. He's waiting for the ref to make the call.
Oh, don't get that penalty.
And he's clean. Get a bit of a gift. Now the referee going to be coming and checking out another body on that D side. That's Spencer.
Sergey taking the walk early, Matty.
Yeah, I think Spencer's taking the walk.
4-on-4. Juice Box eliminated. 4-on-3 advantage, Red Legion. Red Legion now in the snake with Britnikoff. He's in the 40 snake, looking down the tape. Someone's right behind him in the snake, so 2 Red Legion players on this side.
Yeah, this is
just snake side.
Just 2 bodies out there for the Lucky 15s as Levy, Spencer, and Clint have come off early.
Yeah, Coffee in the insert. Now releasing to the wall. I believe Britnikoff's going to get that elimination. He does.
Mason didn't know where Britnikoff was.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point for Coffee and Mason, they're in a tough spot. Down bodies. They're up a point, so really not much they could do. Coffee comes back on over to the box, looking towards the D side. It's just him out there. Still looking at a couple bodies for Legion, and then he's going to get taken out.
I like how he just kept moving away from that snake instead of jumping in that bad boy. Coffee clearly is not looking to get in that snake.
Well, the one thing about the Lucky 15s, though, is that they're definitely aggressive, man. I mean, they're not scared to push. That's kind of their bread and butter. The question that everyone has, I mean, I think they're probably even asking themselves in an honest moment is how are they going to perform against the best in the business, right?
And we talked about this a little before air. Like, it's World Cup, right? There's a lot of things to deal with out here, right? It's World Cup. That's a lot to deal with, especially if it's your first World Cup, right? That's a big deal. There's so much going on. There's the travel, then there's the hurricane, right? And then there's the new schedule. I mean, there's just so much stuff to distract you from coming out here and playing your best paintball this weekend that only the players with the best mental focus are really going to thrive out here this weekend. Most of the people are going to be like me and just be like, ah!
So
Revo breaking out from the left, NRG from the right. NRG got a little bit of a gift that last game. They won that point, but not because they changed their game plan, did well. I mean, they did a good job of getting outside, but they need to do a better job of coordinating that attack, and I think they need to do a better job of going through the middle. There goes Revo back to that conservative breakout with everybody in the pocket. The nice thing for them is they can do that, Matt. They can keep 5 guys alive, get 4 guns, almost 5 guns up on the break, and then really still contain the outside of the field pretty well.
Yeah, just doubling up that back center here for Baltimore Revo, and still with the lead to protect, man. And there's only 3 minutes and 20 seconds left, Rich. So yeah. 2 points, 3 minutes, 20 seconds. Absolutely, NRG Elite can. They have the firepower to be able to come back, but I do like the way that Revo put up the early lead.
Point.
Yeah, this is the key point right now. If Revo wins this point, burns another minute off, that's it.
NRG needs to win this point, and in my opinion, if they can't get outside, they need to start penetrating through the center of the field. See how far off they're playing that little wing in the middle of the field, Matt?
Talk about Revo.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can see here on your screen, backed up completely off that just so he can get a better angle. But he's staying down super low and safe.
Again, he knows how to play this field, right? He knows he can sit there and be completely safe from everybody else. And if they're not out on the snake side, they're not getting out on the snake side.
NRG Elite trying to make some stuff happen here and make some moves, but getting clipped out. Jason Dennis going to be taking the walk.
I think NRG can watch this match and go back and figure out the adjustments that they need to make for their next matches. See, even going out to the tower in the Dorito and looking inside, man, just going out and putting themselves in defensive postures, in defensive positions.
Yeah, and I wouldn't mind them doing that with a 2-point deficit if there was 7 minutes left on the clock.
Or
but there's 2 minutes left on the clock right now. You're down by 2. There's 2 minutes and 10 seconds left. Just going to D2 outside and looking inside for the 40 seconds is just, that's not going to do it.
Going to the
Same tower looking inside.
Yeah. Just out of position, out of play, right?
Well, and maybe they have some bad communication. They have lost a body, and maybe they think that there's somebody in the snake. Is that Buffton over there in the tower?
It looks like Austin in the tower, yeah. He's also looking into the sun, I noticed. So,
but he's playing it like he got some bad information.
He's pumping the snake gap, yeah.
So if that's what he thinks, then I understand why he's playing it that way.
But if that snake is hot, or if that snake's hot, it doesn't change the fact that he can't sit in that tower and just shoot the snake until let the clock run out,
At a certain point, you got to just put a guy in and start making a move. So yeah, even if that was hot, you still have to find a way. Okay, well, if they're in our 50 snake, well, we got to blow open the D side.
Minute 30 left, Matt. Minute and 30 now.
Reckless attack time.
At what point do you think, hey man, we got to go offense here? Like we're literally just going to give this match away.
30 seconds ago.
I think it was 2 minutes ago, but you're much more conservative, obviously. And I think what this does for Revo is it gives them that confidence going to the next match. Like, hey, if we get up 2 or 3 points and we do this breakout, it's going to be real hard to beat us.
Yeah.
These first few points are going to be so crucial. I mean, they always are. We beat that to death. But even more so with only playing 3 matches.
Just so impressed, Rich, with how calm and confident Revo looks. They had 2 awesome first points to go up early. 3 awesome points. But I mean, just the way they did it, fluid. They knew all the angles. They looked confident in their gunfights.
Right.
Yeah, they played the field the way it's supposed to be played. They get a couple kills here as they're blowing open that D side, and just going to come down and finish off these last players to get a little bit of buffer on the points here. And so the final score most likely going to be 4-1 here in favor of Revo.
And Revo's best player in that match, I believe, was Benny Carroll, Snake Side. Played that really, really well. Alive every point. Just got shot to 1 point.
Yeah, he had
clocked in with multiple kills.
But I believe the one time he did die was because he got didn't he get shot going
on the
out
break
there?
On the corner, yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, they got Sheer, Sense, even though Sense had an early death. Velez played very well. I mean, Omaro played pretty well except that one mistake. It was a really, really good look, man. Revo looks real solid right now. Now, NRG Elite, Revo's the top team in this bracket. When Revo matches up with Legion, I think that's going to be a big test for them. And then with the Lucky 15s game, can Revo keep up with the pace the Lucky 15s are going to try to set? We'll see. It's locked up at 2 right now. A lot more time left in this one as we're getting a look in the pits with Revo. But yeah, 2-2 here. Legion and Lucky 15s. But Revo got to be feeling pretty confident as getting a win against a pretty scrappy NRG Elite that has made Sunday this year.
Yeah. And usually I feel like they have a pretty good vibe on how the field is played. I feel like like I said, some of the teams just had a bad read on this field.
The second event, NRG went all the way to 4th. There's Tom 4. One of the new owners of Revo.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
To the stands. We need to watch you.
Yeah, it's with Tom 4 in the mix now and how good Revo's been through the chaos of the roster, getting guys stolen and losing players and trying to pick up new guys. The future could be real bright for them. Obviously, still a lot of World Cup to go here, as it looks like we got a little bit of a timeout. Legion and Lucky 15's ready to play this next point, but the clock is stopped. Oh, now it's going. Yeah, 10 seconds to go.
You can take them bags too. Okay. If it's unopened.
It would be an absolute shocker if the rookie Lucky 15s could roll up here and beat the Legends, Legion. And it looks like Legion going to be losing 2 bodies. What a great break here for Lucky 15s. It's 5-on-3 right now.
Red Legion's had some practices, Matt, where they lost 2 or 3 guys on the break and then got contained in the pocket and really struggled.
Still 7 minutes and 40 seconds left. We could see a lot of points played as Legion likes to run up the score, or they like to play fast. And the Lucky 15s, again, that's probably one of the most aggressive paintball teams I've seen in at least the past 5 years.
I'm looking forward to watching them. Oh, here goes Sergey going forward. Down on bodies. Cannot afford to go forward and trade up bodies there, right, when you're down 2 bodies already? Because now it's a 4-on-2.
Yeah, Sergey in that low body situation comes and dunks on Nick Ripple, but
Smotrop sneaks out to Snake Corner.
But that's just should just help the Lucky 15s. It's gonna be Smotrop and Kirill to probably pull off some sort of low body magic here, which we have seen throughout the years. It's gonna be surprising. Oh, Smotrop, talking about aggressive players, man, one of the most aggressive in the league, and getting a little creative out here to try to push into these guns, Lucky 15s. Kirill gonna launch to the wedge as Smotrop gets into the snake. Here comes Kirill. Kirill's going to commit. Does not get picked up, though, through that lane and gets in clean. Checks himself, pops the top. Might be trading with Mason in the center. A little tactical retreat, and then he finally gets caught. Smotrop's still alive, though. Clint Moore, top of the screen there, D side. The bag side, as the Brits call it. Making moves to that 50, trying to find this last body. So Levy comes through, bunkers out Smotrop, and the Lucky 15 is going to take a 1-point small lead here with still a decent amount of time to play in this game with the way these points are going. Clint Moore, captain of the squad, hitting that buzzer yet again. He's playing really well for him this morning. It's a good mix with the way Clint plays. Clint's a vet, 40 years old. He's been grinding here for years. One of the best players ever to come out of England. And it has been a long time since we've seen a competitive team in the pro level at its highest level come out of Great Britain.
Yeah, there's been several, but yeah, it's been a while.
But, you know, so we'll see this replay. But Clint was, you know, he was there in the previous generation. So we see the breakout. It's just a really tough breakout for Legion. They lose 1, they lose 2. They only have those inside bodies. And then here comes Sergey. Sergey comes around and dunks on Ripple. But like Rich, like you were saying, it's just kind of tough because if you don't get 2 or 3 in that situation, then it doesn't really matter. Just put your team in an even worse spot. But, you know, that's the type of player that Sergey is, man. He's an aggressive bruiser up the center. And then you saw Kirill Perini getting taken out, trying to get creative, and then Smotrov bunker by Levy to finish that point. 3-2 is the score. Clint Moore's got to be pretty happy with how the team's playing, but you kind of could see he's like, hey, oh, and then Sergey.
I will break you.
The dagger glaze, or gaze. Legion known to get off to a little bit of a slow start sometimes.
That's true. Seen them win many matches that start 0-4.
So we'll be in X-Ball here. Coming up, we got Infamous taking on the Ironman and Thunder taking on DMG. So DMG trying to preserve their spot in the Pro League, and they need a big tournament here, so they're going to need to put up some wins. Thunder has looked absolutely outstanding in their first year with the merger of the Brooklyn Bears and Seattle Thunder. It's going to be interesting to see what that roster looks like next year. And then the Ironmen, with that second place, the event in Sacramento, basically saved their season. Had a real tough one at the last one, though, in Chicago. So looking for a little bit of a redemptive moment here at Cup. And the longest running pro team in existence, Ironman.
Teams.
And then Infamous, dealing with a little bit of injuries. Thomas Taylor dislocated his finger pretty bad. He'll still be playing. Cody Mikowski hurt his knee a couple weeks ago, but he's going to be playing. And Infamous, coming off of second place overall in 2021, had, for their standards, a little bit of a disappointing year.
Yeah, especially because they had been riding the crest, right? We were like, all right, Infamous is on the precipice right now of winning the next tournament. They're the next team that's going to win that tournament. Obviously, they won some 10-mans, did well over there. But, yeah, kind of disappointing season for them with, the bar being so high.
Yeah,
Red Legion losing their first attacker on the snake side, Matty, so 4-on-5 advantage here for Lucky.
Lucky 15s have been chewing up Legion off the break, Rich.
Chewing them up and spitting them out, Matt.
So here comes Mason, going to make his move up into that center 50 wall, and he's been real good at getting into that spot.
Yeah, you have to have a guy up there. You've got to have a guy up there to draw the guns inside. Otherwise, your guys are never going to get outside. And you got to go through and get that guy sometimes.
So Sergey comes through, gets the shot in on Mason.
Again, does that a down a body, though, right? So they go from 5-on-4 now to 4-on-3 advantage Lucky.
Yeah, Lucky 15s trying to burn some of this clock. I mean, ideally for Lucky 15s, with the way that the body count is, the way the point is, try to contain Legion, and they do not. They cannot put a ball on Karslev. They just let Karslev walk into the 50-yard line, and they also have their 2 of them over there. So Lucky 15's going to sleep on that D side a little bit.
Yeah, they've got the wing looking this way to cut down the snake side, but they've already eliminated 2 over here. He could have audibled and looked the other way and had one of his guys switch the gaps, and it would have been more effective for sure. Looks like Fatty's been hitting the gym. He's over here fixing our scoreboard. Thank you to NXL's staff. They did an amazing job at rebuilding the whole place after the hurricane. Fatty and those guys were here for long, long hours yesterday, man.
I mean,
Good job, guys.
What a nightmare for the staff here, but they battened down the hatches and everything mostly survived, and we got ourselves a paintball tournament. So
good job, guys.
Big shout out to the NXL crew. So right now, it's still similar situation. Legion has a real good position on that D side. The Lucky 15s are containing them.
4 minutes, Matty.
Yeah,
1-point game here. I think Lucky's real happy to be leading the Red Legion by 1 point with 4 minutes left.
Yeah, I believe up a body too.
And good, yeah, up a body and up on field position. Red Legion had those 2 guys isolated almost in the same spot on the bag side. And they've allowed the Lucky player to get into the snake insert over here. As long as Lucky has good discipline here, they'll be just fine, man.
Oh, there's nothing going on for Legion on this snake side, so they really need to get things going on that D side. They are, but no one's been able to get a kill yet. And the Lucky 15s are just hunkering down, staying alive, shooting gaps.
Is there only 2 Red Legion players left?
I think you're right. We might have lost Smotrov early.
I know they lost the first guy going to the corner on the break, but that's the last one I saw. So I guess it looks like Red Legion's down to just 2 players left against the 4 Lucky players. I think the 4 Lucky players are now starting to figure that out based on the way this wing is starting to wrap here. And all the lucky guys have to do is not die here, not make a mistake, and burn this clock up. Red Legion should definitely concede this point.
Well, Legion finally concedes the point. Nick Ripple is getting a little bit proactive in that spot when all he could do, he just needed to hide in there.
Yes.
But still, just a great point here again for Lucky 15s, and they did enough to go up by 2. I mean, they might be taking the win. That would be a huge confidence boost for this young squad. I talked to Clint Moore this morning. I said, hey, man, best of luck out there. It's so cool to see you guys over here. And how do you feel right now? And he's like, we're really happy we got Legion early. You know, we really wanted to play them because, you know, European teams, and the fact that they drew them early, just get it out of the way, man. 7 a.m. game, don't have that time as these young kids to sit around and think about it too much. Just jump right into it, and they're performing nicely. Let's listen in real quick.
Are they going to put subtitles in this for everybody?
There's Clint. I feel like I'm watching the BBC right now.
Cheers.
Yeah, my wife is a huge fan of British dramas, so definitely heard my fair share of the English accent in my household the past couple years. Yeah, pretty deep roster of a bunch of attackers. I mean, that's definitely the stock and trade for the Lucky 15s is to play a fast-paced game and really put pressure on you. The one event that I saw them do pretty well at, it was their home field, and they were playing a layout they'd already played before and won a local tournament on. And they didn't win the tournament, but they just kept running the same play, and no one could stop it. Everyone knew it was coming. Everyone knew it was happening, and they just couldn't stop it till the very end. But yeah, man, future's bright. If they can keep this team together, that's always the toughest part, right? You get a bunch of young dudes in their early 20s, and it's just kind of hard to keep that team cohesive for years.
Red Legion pocket up. They get out to the baby Dorito, 5-on-5, Maddie. Lucky in the pocket as well. Out to the baby Doritos as well. So mirrored up here. Lucky player getting a check. Not seeing any penalties yet this morning. We'd like to not see any more, but that's up to the players, not the refs. Lucky's now gone through and got the first Red Legion player off, so 4-on-4 advantage here. Slight advantage for Red Legion. They got the snake insert bunker here, Matt.
Yeah, and here comes Legion now, probing up in that center of the field to get into that 50-yard line after losing that body. I mean, they know they need to start pushing, and they're really good at this. We've seen a lot of historic, amazing comebacks from Legion before. And here comes Smotroff. He comes up, he shoots one, then he gets taken out. Got a shot on Ripple, but damage control.
Red Legion in the snake now, 3-on-3, Matt. All right, so here we go. Oh, and Britnikoff gets to the drill side. So Red Legion going to score the much-needed point here. Critical point. Gives them an opportunity to get back in this match, so that's going to get us an opportunity. Less than 2 minutes, 1-point match. Red Legion needs another point just like that if they want to tie this match up and get a chance to win it. Gonna have a little bit of time between this match because we are in true X-Ball mode, so there'll be 2 full minutes in between the matches. Forgive me, it's just me on the mic right now. Matt's trying to work out some technical stuff with the scoreboard. Looks like we got it figured out. Matt, we got it all worked out?
We're getting there. We are getting there, yes. It's the hurricane. Still dealing with some hurricane stuff. So, back into pits right now. A little bit closer game here as let's get a look at some replays and Legion pulling within 1. Started off with Smotroff, Leo Smotroff. And we kept talking about how aggressive Lucky 15s are. Smotroff's like, well, I've been doing this for the past couple seasons, boys. Let me show you how it's done. He gets up there, gets 1, starts it off. And then here's the finish. Again, this is our D-side cam, so the angle has switched. And then here comes Malloy as he's just carving people up and cutting through lanes and effectively. I'm just going to wave off that last body. So tense moments right now. Lucky 15s do not want to let this lead slip away. Let's listen in real quick.
Span you down.
Matt will translate if necessary. Lucky coming out. I think it's like 2 minutes left, Matty. 2-ish, 1-point game.
Yeah, close to it.
This is a pretty good match for a first match of the morning here.
Yeah, this is a good one. when we looked at the schedule, I was thinking, man, I mean, that just really, after watching the Lucky 15s, obviously, I think Paris Camp Carnage is they have an interesting story too. They're they're like a counter. They have some aggression, but they're like counterpunch team. I love how they play in the scramble. They got a lot of experience, so it's a different story.
This is a good scramble field.
It is a good scramble field, but that team, those guys have been playing. I mean, I remember watching them at an event in Northern Italy 10 years ago, and I mean, it's the same guys.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
So, but the Lucky 15s kind of just got here and just kind of untested at
Red
the
Legion
top
loses
level.
one, Matt. Red Legion loses one. 4-on-5 advantage here for Lucky, Matt.
And Lucky 15s have been doing an absolutely outstanding job of shooting a body almost every single point. It's been very tough for Legion. They're playing down most of the time. The fact it's even this close is actually relatively shocking. Just 1 minute and 30 seconds left. A 1-point match, but a 5-on-4 situation here.
Red Legion does get to the Dorito corner.
And favor Lucky 15s. Good to make it out wide there, like Rich said, for Legion. Looking like they want to make a move on the D side to go from, they're in D3, looking to go to D4 right now.
Lucky's,
he wants to go.
Lucky's dedicated to that pocket, Matt. They're there for the game. Red Legion makes the bump to the 40 Dorito over there. Looks like he's been eliminated, Matt. 3-on-5 advantage now for Lucky.
Yeah, it's been a little bit of a rough one for Karslev over there. Oh, tough death, though, for, is that Ripple? I think that was Nick, so, but can they hold on? 60 seconds left. You know that Legion's going to send it no matter how many bodies they have left alive. Oh, and they get another kill here, I believe on, was that on Levy?
3-on-3 now, Matty.
2 tough deaths.
Sergey's on Lucky side of the 15s, side of the field. 3-on-2 now. Red Legion with 2 players. Sergey's going through. Gets 1, gets 2.
Oh, going to be a major penalty assessed on Sergey. That might be the coffin nail. Is under 60 seconds. Immediately going to end it. And what a bit of a gift here for Lucky 15s. Sergey with a, and they're kind of jawing back at each other. As Clint Moore talking to Sergey.
I would let that one go, Clint.
The way the Sergey's towers over Clint.
The call went your way, and Sergey could kill us all.
So how that was breaking down was there was, again, very little time on the clock, right about 30 seconds. 2 bad deaths from both, I believe, Nick Ripple and Levy. I think it was who it was for the Lucky 15s. Trying to hang on, but getting shot out of their spots with about 35, 40 seconds left. That allows Sergey. So now Lucky 15s only have their bodies stuck in the center of the field in the pocket, and it was looking good. And then Sergey comes through, and I thought for a second that he was going to get the 2 and turn it into about a 2-on-1. Still 2 bodies left alive for Legion.
He got 2 clean.
Yeah, he got 2 clean, but then tried to get that third. It looked like I would like to potentially see a replay on that if we could, as it was a pretty nice move, but unfortunately just a couple extra steps there for Sergey cost them the major. That cost them the point. Now they're down by 2, and this game is most likely going to go to the Lucky 15.
And literally every referee on that side of the field threw a red flag. It wasn't just one dude from some corner that saw some weird angle. It was every single dude was reaching in his pocket as Sergey was going through. I was like, uh-oh.
Now we have seen Legion get off to slow starts before and completely redeem themselves, but this is going to be a big ask out here, man. I mean, they can score. We've seen a 9-second point out of them before. They're going to need a couple of them here. We are going to get a look at, sometimes it takes a few games, sometimes it takes a day or 2 before we see what the quick point's going to look like. The best look at you got to run a 15-second point. It only took the very first set for us to get one here.
I don't know, man. How much time is left, Matt?
32 seconds.
Down
maybe?
by 2?
I don't know. What do you think, Rich? What do you think?
I'm concerned that Smotroff is over here talking on the sidelines instead of in the pit right now.
Well, the last time this happened a few years ago in Texas, which Rich always conveniently forgets, but
I've never been to Texas, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Said that it was over.
Oh, it's over. I guarantee.
So you said it, and that means they have a chance now.
Hey, am I an idiot for saying it, or are you an idiot for listening?
Probably a little bit of both. A little bit of both.
I'll take that. I'll take that.
This is a big moment for the Lucky 15s, man.
Dude, this is huge.
Talking to these guys and how things shook out when we redrew, because you have the top seeds, right?
Yeah.
So whoever gets so those are going to be tough teams. But Legion wasn't in that top.
Oh, I know.
So they get pulled out, and then now whoever gets Legion as that second-tier team in your bracket,
It's a rough draw.
That's a rough draw. So that happens to be the Lucky 15s. Now, when I asked them who they were hoping to play here, they wanted to play Legion.
Because it's better to play them now than play them.
And to get a big test,
Saturday
right?
afternoon.
They're here for the test. They got
this has got to take momentum into the next match, right? They've got to go into the next match feeling pretty lucky.
Yeah, I mean, if we're set up for a pretty historic story.
I don't
and
know.
to make a Sunday, I mean, Lucky 15s are starting it off pretty nicely, but they still got to get through these next 30 seconds.
I hope Red Legion goes, but I just feel like they're not full sending. They start with 4, Matt. They do. They go snake. Wall goes all the way through. Gets 1. Wall has been eliminated. They caught him.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Got up there really well. Britnikoff now releasing into the wall.
Body coming off for Lucky 15s with just 13 seconds left to go. The
4
2
on
tie.
2. 4 on 2, Matt. Red Legion now on Lucky's side of the field with Britnikoff in the wing.
I mean, Legion still needs a lot just to pull it within 1, and I don't even know if they're going to get that.
They're
Britnikoff's going to get diced up.
And this is going to just help Lucky's margin. Wow, Lucky's fired up. Good job, guys.
Good job, Lucky 15s. Rookie pro team coming in here.
Welcome to America,
First
boys.
time playing in the United States here at the big show at the Champions Cup here at World Cup in the NXL, and they are triumphant here against Red Legion, legends in this game. So hugs all around, and they should do a little bit of celebrating right now. I know there's still a lot of tournament left to go, so people's like, why are they celebrating, man? This is a big moment for them, and it could set up a really fascinating story here at the Champions Cup as they take down one of the legends in this game in the very first prelim round, setting up, maybe a decent prelim run. Maybe we will see the Lucky 15s move on to Sunday. So we got a lot more paintball coming at you here. 2022 NXL World Cup, the Champions Cup going down, and it's going to be Infamous and Ironman Thunder and DMG next. Stick with us here. Go Sports. See you in just a few.